This is Charlie Stocker with Hey Garden Guy Charlie Stocker, Facebook, heygardenguy.com, on our website where we answer questions that you may have. Plus we do a video every day, about 3 minutes, just to give you good information to spark an interest in you that maybe helps you in your landscaping. Well, I have a very special friend with me today, a guy that I've known practically my whole life, and I can't help but smile as we're doing this together. JT McCarty of Colonial Classics, who I have learned a lot from over the years, and maybe he's learned a little bit from me. But you know, when I think of Christmas trees, I got to come here. You have an excellent selection, and I don't want to do a commercial. That's not what we're here for. But tell us how you can tell if a tree is fresh, number one. What are the varieties that you have available, and what to look for a fresh tree, and then how you take care of it on the inside of the house.
Good.
You've got a half a minute. No, I'm
got a half a minute. Thank you for asking my opinion. And I'm JT McCarty with Colonial. And we've been selling cut Christmas trees and living balled and burlap trees for, gosh, 60 plus years. We have refined it down to the one you're looking at here, which is a Fraser fir, one of the most popularly grown cut Christmas trees in the United States. And they have such a delightful aroma. They are nice, full, and thick, and the branches are rigid enough to support ornamentation when you put it on there, all the stuff that your grandma gave you and you've kept for years. But there's a few tips, Charlie, that you talk about on how to keep them fresh.
You know, I want to interject here. We have, with the Fraser fir and the noble fir and the grand fir, we have cut branches off and put them, I don't know if this is a good idea, but we had a little ring that we put on top of our light bulbs and put the greenery around that, and as the heat from the light bulb went up, it just made, it smells like fresh oranges.
It does. Has almost a citrusy smell. Yeah. You don't need to do that with your Christmas tree, and don't put light bulbs on it, but when you get a cut Christmas tree, always have the vendor that you buy it from cut the bottom off to have a new fresh cut. And take it home and put it in water, and preferably hot water, so that it will open up the cell tissue on the bottom of the stump and it will absorb the water in there quicker. Obviously put it in the stand, get it straightened, take it in the house, then add your hot water. If you can't do that soon after you've purchased the tree, at least take it home and put it in some water outside, leave it in that bucket until you're ready to take it in the house.
Now there are those people who they can't get it in that little ring, and so they'll cut the bark off and then stick it down, but the bark that they've sheared off or shaved off.
That's a no-no.
Okay, tell us why.
That's a no-no. Well, when you cut that bark and that outer tissue off, then the plant doesn't have the ability to absorb the moisture. Okay, so do not shave that bark off of that just to cram it down into a stand that's probably too small anyway. Just get a bigger stand. Okay, that's the best solution. And always look for the freshness in a tree by taking the tip with your fingers, and if it pops back out and is nice and rigid, then you know it's a freshly cut tree. Always check to see if it's got brown needles inside. We don't have to shake our trees because at Colonial, they were just cut a week before Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
We've been dealing with the same people in North Carolina for decades, so they cut our trees right before we're getting ready to bring them up here.
What about lighting?
Lighting, most people are using small lights. You don't see incandescent ones used. When we were kids, the C7 and C9s, you might use those outside, but anymore, I would suggest you use LED lights just because A, they burn cooler and they're more energy efficient, and you can buy them in a multitude of colors. But however you do it, don't ever put candles that you light on a Christmas tree for fear that it could catch not only the tree on fire, but potentially the ornamentation. But LED lighting is good.
And they say that a fresh cut Christmas tree will absorb a good quart of water every day.
Yes.
So it's imperative that you keep that water in that stand.
Sure. When you cut the bottom off, or your vendor does, and that water gets absorbed in, these needles transpire that moisture, and every day or two you're going to need to check it and probably add about a quart.
Well, it's the #1 decoration in the United States in terms of Christmas, so you want to make sure it's going to last. And this is Charlie Stocker with JT McCarty from Colonial. Have a great day.